McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended.
Already 9 days into the month of August 2024. This is The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside Alton Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator. Our final program for the week, and as we are thankful for all things, life, health, shelter, food, safety, those things, we can also be thankful that we've come through another week of The Real Issues, our program which airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM radio station, coming to you on the dual frequencies of 91.3 for those of you joining us in the north, and 91.5 in the south. We are also on Facebook Live, and we are streaming live on YouTube as well, simulcasting on NBC Television Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. And what a week it has been. Seems like it is so packed, seems like it is so long, seems like it started such a long time ago, because it is a week, or has been a week, unlike any other week. And if you look at a week as 7 days, my goodness me. What a week it has been. It's been Julian Alfred's week. It's been St. Lucia's week. It's been deliriously joyful week. It's been ecstatically happy week. It's been everything week, But it's not weak in the sense of being Feb, of course. It's a cement that will forever remain etched in our minds as so very special, as raising the national mood and feel good, as one week, that really pumped us up and made us believe more, believing in what we can achieve, believing in what we can do, and believing that we are just never too small to accomplish big things. And let us hope that this filters into other areas of our lives where we get to believing that we can do it. I suspect many times we believe that things are just, like, oh my goodness, why bother? I think the correct word is futility. We can give into a sense of futility, where we think that nothing we do ever will make a difference, will ever change anything. So, the garbage, the littering, we have a little box. We say, my box, what difference will it make? I ain't going to change anything, so I can just drop it. 10,000 other people are thinking the same way. You know what happens? We have to give up that sense of futility. We have to tell ourselves that we make a difference. And others can make a difference if we encourage them to. That we can change things. That we can make things better. And it doesn't have to be on the tracks as an Olympic athlete and 100 meters gold medalist. In all our lives, there are opportunities for us to be golden people, champions, winners in whatever we do. And sometimes it's some very small things. I'm a media person, so I ain't going to talk against radio and TV and the big screen and being on air and that sort of thing. But people, it's not only when you have publicity and you're being showcased and you're on TV and you're on radio and your voice can be heard and you're on the platform. That's not the only time when you're important. Stop thinking to confuse importance with prominence. That in order to be important, you have to be prominent. You have to be somebody who is out there in the public eye who's being heard. And maybe that is why our conversations always go to the government. Before we talk about something at the community level, there's always somebody, usually several, answering. The government have to step in, the government have to do something about it. The government will have to do this. I'm not saying government doesn't play an important role. But government should not be an excuse for us to accept that sense of futility and helplessness that we can't do anything and we cannot make a difference. We can make a difference. I think right now we are making a difference. I don't like to come and say it, but some of the things you hear me come and rant about on real issues in my preamble, I'm seeing improvement in some of them, but I ain't going to, because people have advised me, don't say it. The moment you say it, people believe that, we've arrived, we're there already, we're rich. So they slack off and they don't. I don't know if that's true. But they've told me that if you see an improvement in the littering, don't say so, Shelton, don't say so, because they will believe that it's okay and will get complacent again. People have told me the same thing with the crime. If you see a lessening of the crime and the violence and the shootings, don't talk about it. Because the moment you do, there's an eruption again. I don't want to believe that, okay? But people, I think the greatest lesson, the greatest takeaway from Julian Alfred is that we can start with our backs to the wall. We can start pinned to the floor, to the ground, to the mat, if you want to think of it, as wrestling and so on. But we can rise. We can overcome. We can do better. We can make a difference. All right? So this is what we need to encourage ourselves with. That it doesn't matter whether you're from Cicero and people are denigrating, if not you directly, they're denigrating other people about being from Cicero. Yet there are some people who are from Cap Estate. And I can tell you they are really, really, really people that you won't have much time and much regard and much respect for them because they don't have much regard or much respect for themselves. It's not about where you're from. It's not about whether you're from Conway. It's not about whether you're from Cicero. It's not about whether you're from Sandy Fe or Mark. The fact that you're from Sandy Fe or Mark or Bruceville, that don't mean you have to be a criminal. That don't mean you have to be a murderer. Yes, the pressure is there. The psychological pressure that everybody seems to be going that way, so I must go with the flow. Or I must show that I am tougher than them. And if they think they're bad, I'm badder than them. And so instead of bucking the trend, instead of standing resistant against the current and against the tide, we just go with it. When what we need are people who, when the going gets tough, they become the tough ones who get going, and they have to go against the false toughness of the times. It is possible to do that. People who really have no self-respect and self-esteem, and they're unambitious people, they want you to become like them. They want you to come and sit down and just chatting foolishness and malpallaying people and people's business and minding people's business and then wanting to rob people because they have nothing. They want you to be like them. There is a sense of comfort that people have when we all on the same level, when we all the same way. And if you try to be different, they start to bad talk you and to say you think you're better than others. You have not anything you do them, You think you're better. And too many of us, our young people in particular, are yielding to this at their level. It is called peer pressure. We think it's something for young people. This peer pressure is everywhere. Everybody wants to join, just sitting on the block, just drinking. Well, guess what? Drinks cost money. They need money and so on. You want to be drinking your life away and just chatting? Well, you need money to do that. And people just want to be with everybody else. You one of us, playing loud music, deafening people and so on. Folks, Julian Alfred could not be the champion that she is today, that she has become, if she was not prepared to and she was not pushed to make sacrifices, to have that discipline, to have your mouth dripping for that ice cream, but knowing you should not have it, or no more than a spoonful, or half a scoop or whatever, and to leave it alone. That's not the right time, that she wants this and she wants that, and want to stay up late and so on. I was talking to someone who was at a very high level of sports competition, and he said, man, when the competition ends, that's when you really feel the stress of how hard you've been pushing yourself. And that's when you feel about, the way you have been on edge, walking on a knife edge, because you have to be keeping strict about everything so much that basically you're not a free person, you're a prisoner. But when the competition is over and the joy and the smiles, you relax. He says there's a period where you don't want anybody to tell you anything. You want to put your feet up and watch TV and just, goof around and bum off and so on. You might go to the fridge and take a thing of ice cream and dip into it, and before you know it, you've eaten the whole day, because it's so long you were able to treat yourself. But after a few days, reality has to strike. There are other competitions, there are other things coming up. You have to leave those things alone and get back and to hit the road, which in that case may be the treadmill and the gym and the dumbbells and the barbells and all this kind of thing. And he said, when you're on that, you're on such a knife edge of particularity and strictness and regimen and this pattern kind of thing. And the person said to me, this is why when your days of that sport are over, sometimes some of those people, they fall out of shape so quickly, because they're so happy not to have to be doing this thing, with a strictness that surpasses even the most fanatical religion, that now they figure, look, man, they've done enough. All the stress and the injuries and everything they had to endure, why push themselves? Why they can't, relax themselves with family and friends, eat a slice here, have a bed there and so on. And sometimes, you look at them and you don't even recognize them after that. That individual said he doesn't want that to happen to him, even if he can't go to the gym, or he doesn't want to go as regularly, spend time with his grandchildren and family, which he couldn't do back in those days. I was surprised, when one day a doctor, but did I have him on air, and someone was explaining to me about this whole drug testing thing, how they can come upon you without warning. You can be in a studio like I am right now, and people from whatever testing, they can be there waiting for you when you come out to ask for a sample of urine or whatever it is that they ask for. And there's so many ways you can end up with doping violations that you don't know. You have to notify them of your movements and where you will be, because you might go to, and I think he used Mexico as an example of a place you might go into a restaurant, and you might order a meal with beef, and the way that they raise their cattle there and what they give their cattle and so on, the antibiotics and how they treat them, it just might end up having something in your system, that represents a violation, and you might have to answer questions. Doesn't mean you'll get banned, but they will flag certain things, and which you should have known, because they give you a list of things and possible places and all where you can run into that violations. You have to be careful which restaurants you eat, what you eat. If you decide, okay, you're going to eat fish, but you're not eating beef, because there might be certain steroids that they use, in raising the beef and so on. You're responsible for all of those things. And what is the level? What is the quantity? Okay, if it's just a meal you ate with a few pieces of beef on it, it can't raise the level of what they'll find in your blood, so they'll know you're being deceptive. Maybe you went to eat the beef deliberately so that you can have an excuse. Cold medicine, all these kinds of things. You have to be, you have to be watching and monitoring and be in touch with your coach and these people all the time, because they can come upon you at any time to test you, and based upon what you have been doing. If you have an injury, there has to be records of what kind of treatments you got, what injections you got, when did you get them, etc., etc. They must have access to your records, and any way you try to deny them those kinds of things, then that becomes a basis for a violation. I mean, it was so complex, I can't remember all of these things. Folks, this is the kind of thing that Julian Alfred and Darren Sammy, and before them, Laverne Spencer, and so many others who have even touched the international circuit have had to face. This is the reason why we must celebrate them and focus upon celebrating them and their achievements and what it does to us. Beyond making us feel so happy that we cry and so on, what is the message that it gives to us? And I want to encourage us as myself, let's be focused. There are too many people around now who seem to want to distract away from Julian Alfred's accomplishments, who are trying to turn it into a quarrel, who are trying to turn it into a TMAT, who are trying to turn it into a halikase, who are trying to turn it into a, one-upmanship, it's not you, it's me. It's not me, it's you. You did this and you did that. And they just want to get us mired in those things so that we cannot really enjoy, so that we cannot really soak in the joy of the moment, and to say, look, this is what it talks about the young lady, her journey and so on. Now many of us, it seems, are going back to look at the significance of Darren Sammy having been the first St. Lucian ever to play for West Indies. And not just to play, but to become captain of the West Indies team. And against all criticisms of the same people who are denigrating you if you're from Cicero. I was in Antigua working on the kind of denigration that they came about Darren Sammy up there. Lester Bird the late had some very unflattering things to say about Darren Sammy. He called him a journeyman. Who's this guy to be captain? He could not even earn his own place in the team if he were not holding the captaincy. And as far as Lester Bird was concerned, that Darren Sammy got the captaincy because Ernest Hilaire, was CEO of Cricket West Indies and Julian Hunt was the president. Very, very uncharitable, things and so on. Darren Sammy brought home 2 world titles. 2 world titles as captain of the West Indies team. Antigua, they have the proud tradition of a stream of top-class players, The legendary and iconic Vivian Richards being right up there, but don't talk about Andy Roberts, the Benjamins, Winston and Kenny Benjamin, and Eldon Baptist. Oh my goodness, how could I leave Curtly Ambrose, for so far down the line? They had other lesser known ones, but who did well, Dave Joseph, and the list went on and on and on. So, who's this guy from unknown St. Lucia? The last time West Indies won any kind of world title, was when Darren Sammy was captain. Now I say when he was captain because the year that he won the last title, which was the T20 World Cup, the under-19 West Indies team also won, and the West Indies women also won at that same time. There was an inspirational effect of Darren Sammy. Where is he from? Miku South, Tiroche, Diga, Lacouville area. I can't remember. Diga, I think, This is where Darren Sammy is from. Was he affected by being a country boy, or, in times past they used to disparagingly refer to them as country bookies and so on? Is that even in style? Do people use those things anymore? This is the message. I think Laverne Spencer is from somewhere in the Babuno, area and so on. It doesn't matter what little town or what little village or where the person comes from or how rustic their accent is and this kind of thing. These are the people who put us on the map, who make us proud and are not afraid or ashamed to identify themselves with St. Lucia. They're not afraid to say that they're St. Lucians. They feel no sense of shame about St. Lucia. St. Lucia ain't any kind of, embarrassing backwater for them that they're afraid to say or ashamed to say that they're from St. Lucia. And we must not be. And that is why I say, when we have a prime minister like Philip Joseph Pierre, good leaders are supposed to bring out good things in their people. They're supposed to bring out the better things in us. They're supposed to inspire us to become better versions of ourselves. Leaders are not people who go encouraging people just to use them to do things which are convenient to the leader. Go and cuss out this opposition for me. Go and throw some stones on them. Go and throw some rotten eggs at them, Go and put a live on Facebook to embarrass so and so for me, These are leaders who are only focused on themselves, their self-aggrandizement, the achievement of their own objectives and what they want. They don't care if in the process they are turning you into a scoundrel. They don't care if in the process they are turning you into an absolute, vagabond and bully and scallywag or whatever it is. They don't care. You get arrested, they'll go to their gated community homes and so on, and they'll be traveling in the air like they can afford to everywhere, while you there struggling for bail and this kind of thing. And I mentioned scoundrel. There are many words that begin with S. Maybe I should be embarrassed by them because my name, Shelton, starts with S. But nowadays, there are some people who just go throwing mud and dirt and allegations at people and so on, And it's always the same way that their little passages, because apparently they're not very good at expressing themselves, so they use the same words over and over again. And I have this feeling that I've said many times, that one of the tests, in my opinion, of a person's intelligence is how often they repeat themselves. And so they have this thing. Shameless allegations have emerged. Is it a shameless? It's shocking or it's scandal. There's always something that's a scandal that is shocking, allegations or shocking revelations have written. And St. Lucia is now in a scandal, in an international scandal over its CIP. And I say, okay, something is shameless just because somebody says so. It's shocking just because you want to say it's shocking and you want to make it sound like it's a much bigger deal than it is. It's always shameless. It's always why should I be ashamed of something where there is no shame in it because I never did it? Just because you say so? Just tossing those things all over the place, to tarnish the name of the country that you call yours so that you can achieve an objective. But there's another S, I find they don't seem to know about. Maybe they don't understand the word. Perhaps some of you real issues people can just go look it up, just for the sake of an exercise. It's called sleazy. You wonder those people who are always making some claim that something, St. Lucia is now engulfed or mired in something shameless, in something scandalous, You wonder about those people. Why everything about them and the people they associate with and the garner around them always gives off that stench of sleaze. Is always something sleazy about what they're doing, Whether it is about taking $7 million of people's money and putting it in the hand of someone with whom you have personal connections to go and shop for vaccines for you. That making sense? Is that making sense? When there is the OECS Pharmaceutical Procurement Service, Mr. Francis Burnett never let that thing stay out of the public consciousness. He was always out there talking about it, promoting it. I think maybe he's retired by now. When there is the Caribbean Public Health Agency, there is the World Health Organization, and there is the Pan American Health Organization, which not too long ago during the COVID pandemic was headed by a Dominican. Both CAFA, Caribbean Public Health Agency, I think was headed by another Dominican, Dr. Joyce and John, if I'm not wrong, and Dr. Carissa Etienne. Isn't that something for Dominica to feel proud about, that its nationals in jobs that are so competitive, those Latin American countries and so on, they push to get the leadership of those things. When you can get two Dominicans heading the regional and hemispheric, health bodies. But we have those organizations and we have an opportunity at the time. You're taking our money in the millions and putting it in a hand of somebody to go and make message for us. Go and make message for us and he bring what he want and, we can't get the change. We don't know if we'll ever get it and we've been told we'll be lucky if we get any more of it. Same problem, Barbados, I mean, come on. You want to talk about shocking? You want to talk about shameless? You want to talk about scandalous? What is more shameless than that, than an embarrassment that even the rigor of fiscal management that you expect from somebody was ascended to the office of Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, that this is the way you play in fast and loose with the public purse of the country? You want to talk about shameless and scandalous? While we're practicing openly and shamelessly the sleaze of denying 6 constituencies a dime for 5 years. For 5 years, you denied them a dime under a program. And it's not to say the program you came in and you didn't like it and you suspended it. You continued it brazenly, openly, with all the effrontery, with all the gall, as we say, giving money for 5 years to the 11 constituencies that were represented by MPs from your party, your governing side, but not giving a dime to the 6 constituencies that were represented by opposition MPs of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And you feel okay about that? That's not shameless. That's not shocking. That's not scandalous. This kind of egregious political victimization and injustice, it demands reparations of some kind. It's not Alva Baptist, it's not Kenny Anthony or Moses Jean-Baptiste or Philippe Pierre or Ernest Hilaire, that are the people that you have to make some kind of, amends to and atone for and so on. The people that you're supposed to be making amends to are the people of those constituencies, the constituents. Why did you deny us a dime while you yourself were helping yourself to your full pound of flesh every single year or month or whatever under the constituency development program? What right do you have to decide that certain constituencies, because they're represented by opposition people, that they don't deserve to get a dime? It's state funds. It's not your money. If you suspend the program, you suspend the program. But you're giving it to yourself, so to speak. And you, just like that, just like that, just cut it off. You're not giving it to them. I keep saying there has to be some kind of means of making amends, or providing a catch-up, whatever allocation, not to Sean Edward, my friend, not to Kenny Anthony, not to Moses Jean-Baptiste, not to Alva Baptiste, not to Ernest Hilaire or Philip J. Pierre, but to those constituencies that suffered that kind of, cocky, bombastic, arrogant denial of their entitlements while others getting it. I mean, how can you do that to people? You come in and talk about shameless, shocking, scandalous and so on. The whole deputy speaker thing, that whole fiasco of not complying with the Constitution. And it isn't to say that you never had a deputy speaker, You had a deputy speaker. You go in and remove the deputy speaker. And you come in and say that the Constitution doesn't talk about, any sanctions, any reprisals for it, so it's okay to do it. What happens to the regard and the respect and the holding sacrosanct the Constitution of our country, which is what defines the country and its governance and its management and so on? You don't care about any of those things. But we just banding things about, shocking, scandalous and so on. And bringing sleazy people into the picture. I keep saying, sleaze attracts sleaze. If anybody, every time they try to bring in some foreigner, is always somebody with a colored, checkered, dubious criminal history that includes going to jail, it can only mean that the person who is continuously co-opting and recruiting sleazy characters like Philip Martinez, like Ken Ridgeock, it is because the individual himself has a sleazy side, a sleazy bent, including what we may not yet have discovered. It's always those kinds of people. Wasn't there one again, a Jack Lamb or whatever I heard about while I was overseas and so on? It's always those kinds of people. The guy who went to buy the vaccines, he can't give you the rest of the money. That must be something sleazy involved in there. So you can come and talk all your talk about shameless and Philip J. Pierre. Point me to the sleaze that Philip J. Pierre is involved in. Point me to it. Not just the one that you concoct, and the one that you make up, and the one that you say, and you just write those little pieces that have no fact, that have no objectivity, that has no rigor in them in terms of research and presenting the facts or anything whatsoever. You believe just your flowery use of words and your rhetoric and those kind of things, that they will fly. Where is the sleaze? Martinez is talking because somebody's putting you up to it. It's orchestrated. But even the lawyer who's putting Martinez up to that, he can't be too much of a good lawyer. This lawyer can't make too much of a living from just being a lawyer, from just going through the protocols and the bona fides of the practice of law. This lawyer can only survive by being associated with sleaziness. You know, it has to be with sleaziness that this lawyer is doing this thing. And it is time for us, the people of St. Lucia, to say no to sleaze. If we were in a sleazy country, being run by sleazy people who had corrupted the government with their sleaze, we have come out of this. People, we don't need to quarrel, we just need to focus. Focus. We know what we know. Let them come with all their, pretentious pronouncements and all the flowery words and all the worn words now, because these things have become hackneyed. They've become trite. It's like you can almost expect it. Shocking revelations have emerged, and shameless thing, and scandalous thing. And St. Lucia is mad St. Lucia's CIP is now mad in a scandal. You can almost wait for it. You can almost predict it. We just have to focus. And I think a good rallying point for that focus is the upcoming Walk of Progress on the 25th of this month. Make up your mind to participate in it. I think it's a kind of exercise and activity that will have a good, beneficial, welcome effect of clearing your head from all the dust and all the smoke of all these wild, concocted allegations of people who have nothing better to do, who have nothing to show for themselves in terms of what they've done, who don't want to answer serious, real questions about why an 8-day trip to the United Kingdom had to cost taxpayers almost £10,000 sterling at the rate of about £2,000+ per night. Why they couldn't find something more affordable for a country that they themselves cried how broke it is, and how many poor people are in the country, and how they want to change the life for poor people. And that may be just one that is discovered now. There may be so many others of such junkets, such wasting of the people's money. We have to ask questions about those people. And what they're trying to do now is to distract us by basically suffocating and smothering us with their false accusations, with their unfounded allegations, and to present it, and to bring in dirty bag people from overseas who've been to jail for fraud and for all that kind of thing, and to come and speak with some pretentious air of authority about, I have evidence, and the Prime Minister, we have asked him to come to Washington to see the evidence that we have. Okay, you have evidence, but you decided to bring a lawsuit. Keep your powder dry, man. Take the evidence that you have, whether about Ernest Hilaire or about Mr. MacLeod, take the evidence to court. Take the evidence to your lawsuit, man. And stop harassing us. Stop this harassment. Stop this attempted intimidation and browbeating and bullying and intimidation and that kind of thing. Stop this foolishness. Go ahead with what you have. And tell whoever is putting it up to you, it's time to come out and show their face, their real face, by initiating action themselves. For the action that is needed is capable of and best pursued right here in St. Lucia, in the Caribbean, in our courts, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, the Caribbean Court of Justice in our case, which, by the way, has just rejected an appeal from Marius Wilson. Despite being granted early release, he decided to appeal, I think, his conviction and whatever, that it was wrong, that it was flawed, that they rejected a no-case submission. CCJ has just done that. I don't want to dwell on that. He's not, an item when it comes to the public sphere again as a public figure and so on. And I'm just telling you, CCJ is working all the time. It will work. It will work fairly and justly. Bring an application, do something, and stop all this shameless and shocking and scandalous, just bandying words about and expecting that just because you say it is so, that it is so. We're not impressed. Do something that will make us. Real Issues will continue in just a moment with your calls, and I'll read your messages as well.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The country needed to be rescued from the abyss into which it was plunging. The majority of you accepted my offer to lead that rescue mission. The full rescue team also includes you, the people.
Over the past 3 years, the St. Lucian economy has been growing. The growth is being experienced across many sectors, with business confidence up and unemployment down.
This government always defends the interests of the people of St. Lucia.
The 2 years after COVID, and then I get the $1,500. It helped me a lot, and it pushed me in front to open a little business. Now I can put food on my table right now.
When I heard about the MSME, I was like, boom, opportunity. I could make something actually happen, you know.
And young people must not suffer the frustration that they suffer when they go to other organizations.
Entrepreneurship is something that is needed in our country. We need people to take the leap and be entrepreneurs to help the economy grow.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul.
As Prime Minister, I promise to be Prime Minister not for some of the people, but for all the people.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The telephone lines are open for your calls. 487-9849. The WhatsApp call line, 487-9849. And you can also reach us on 4533911. We have our first call already. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Sheldon Daniel.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Sheldon Daniel.
Hey, forward la, come on here.
Hello?
Forward la, now we no.
Daniel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon.
Wait, bon après-midi pour bienvenue.
Bon après-midi pour vous aussi. Ok. Moi t'anou les affaires nous.
Yo commission souple. Yes. Moi vle yo commission bay. C'est moun qui responsable pour tirer commission en barrel. À conteneur. Ini dio moi 2 semaines. Moi ni commission dans yon conteneur. Conteneur arrivé ici yon moi 2 semaines. Me commande. Ta la quand tout le monde ga descendre la premier ministre. Tout sorte de vieux non pio ba yo. Moi me demander comment demander pour personne. Est-ce là pas non monde qui responsable pour verser conteneur? Est-ce que commission à la famille moun wete l'autre pays qui voye ba yo? Est-ce ça prend autant de temps à dire yon conteneur? Est-ce là ou ba yo c'est pas bagay pour expire, bagay pour jeter? La famille moun qui voye ba yo. So moi même commander souple. Si yon moun na qui responsable là. Yo moi 2 semaines sans moi di dan. Bon là ou ba moi il va jeter tout malheureux pas moi. So on a de plus encore, souple encore, faut gomme pour tirer. Commission bagay moun, maman voye la famille voye. Tirer un conteneur, ouvert conteneur souple, il a cette ici. Yon mois 2 semaines il a là. Et on a dit plus encore, faut de la parler. Mr. Sheldon Daniel.
Oui.
Bonne journée, laisse travail, moi c'est Mathieu.
Ok.
Merci. Bye bye. Love you.
Merci un peu forward là. Love you also. Have a nice weekend. 487-9849 and 4533911. The numbers to dial on the real issues today. And you know, people, I'm sure we're all familiar with the saying, evil thinketh as evil doeth. You know, when you find people are always trying to, on the most tiny pretext, on the thinnest basis of what they say is evidence, calling people corrupt. It's like a person dies nearby. You notice they're trying everything they can to pin it upon somebody that everyone would consider is unlikely. You know, people have never heard of me in any crime, nothing like that, been arrested in any violence or anything. The moment if, for example, somebody were to die and I were to find another person just there trying to find some way to say, it must have been Shelton who did it, they want to pin it. Right away in my mind, I would tell the police, take a hard look at that person. Because usually when people are trying to pin things on you, regardless of how unlikely, regardless of how strained the appearance or semblance of truth to it is, but they're determined, they're obsessed with pinning it on you. Yes, it's true they may just hit you and they're being malicious or whatever, but many times when people are trying so hard, so desperately to pin something on someone else, it's because they are implicated themselves. And so when you find somebody, all their conversation is about corruption, that there's corruption, but they can't point you to the corruption. It's just wild allegations that they just keep spewing out and repeating, hoping that like mud it will stick at some point. If you throw enough of it, you must score a hit with it. Look at them, it's probably because how would a father know about his son's wasteful, profligate, extravagant ways and so on when it comes to money, but he's still pushing for the son to become the country's prime minister and minister for finance? I always ask myself that question. A father knows. And it's not just Richard Frederick he said that to, I know other people he said. Richard is the one who came out. But the father had been talking to people about the son's wasteful ways, including one time they went on a trip Well, the father was part of a delegation because he was chairperson of what was then NDC and became Invest St. Lucia and all of that. Had diplomatic passport and all of that. And they went to a certain place in Florida where the son had a condo or whatever it was, and he was there. And I think the father said to people, look at this guy. This is the kind of way he wants to live, have condo here and he's not there for how much time and whatever and so on, and has to be paying for upkeep, whatever it was he said and so on. So the father knew about his son's ways. If you know that, why are you pushing for the son to become the country's prime minister and minister for finance? So in other words, you know about how if you give him half a chance, how he'll run you broke and he will put you flat and bankrupt you and so on. But it's okay for him to do it to the treasury of the country. Well, the answer, Richard Frederick provided it. In other words, he's wasteful and whatever and so on. You don't want him in your business running your things and so on because you know his ways. But it will be convenient to you because you know you can influence him or make him whatever for him to cause the rental of all your properties. Renting this place, renting that place to put police department, unsuitable places, demolish custody suites, demolish this thing and that, so that your real estate will be more of an option. You don't like the way he moving, but you realize you can work it to your advantage. When you hear people keep on accusing others of all kinds of things, they know something. Renting, private properties to house government offices from a company, from a private family and so on, of which you are a shareholder of at least 25%. Your sister, same mother, same father, is another 25% shareholder. Your mother is a 25% shareholder. Your father is a 25% shareholder. So that makes up, the entire ownership of it. What are the people who probably had buildings and so on that could have rented? They would never get rent. You think they'll ever take priority or precedence over your family? And not only are the shareholders, they are the directors. They're managing it. They're controlling it. How many other people maybe needed a little break of getting some rental from government? You believe they would ever be pushed to the top of the line and so on? You forgot who told somebody else in the same party, take the line? We have a call on the line, do we? All right. Okay. Sorry about that, caller. Sometimes when you have a certain train of thought, you have to keep it going. We have to ask ourselves those kinds of questions when people are screaming corruption. Has there been any answer? In the same way as the 2,000 pounds sterling per night. No answer to that, Has there been any answer about the policy of renting private properties, private buildings and so on for government departments? And when you can see the pattern of your deliberately trying to avoid things like, what eventually became halls of justice, administrative building in Viva. Why? Because you're creating the fiscal space and the need for your family's properties to be rented. You are legally diverting, and this is the problem about being in government. If you're not watching people, you can legally steal. You can legally practice corruption. You can do those kinds of things and nobody can tell you, because at the end of the day, it has the required signatures, it has the required warrants and memoranda, because who is the person controlling those things? Who is the person who can write to a permanent secretary and say, give a director award, whatever, long-term lease or whatever to so and so, which is owned by my, they're not going to put to owned by my family. But these are the people who cry corruption and scandal, and they always have it, it's shocking, it's shameless, it's scandalous, but they don't want to talk about their own sleaze. They're very sleazy. And this is the problem. You're accusing public corruption while you are facilitating and practicing private sleaze. We have to look into those things. 487-9849 and 4533-911. The numbers to dial. Real issues. Last program for the week. Last week for the Olympics, right? Yeah. Olympics is a 2-week affair. And I think we're ending the second week and so on. And what 2 weeks it has been. All right. I heard a lot of people laughing at Noah Lyles, and all his boast and, and then he gets beaten by a guy from Botswana. Yeah. I saw some U.S. publication refer to the bots as a Botswanan. I think this is wrong. Yeah, I think somebody from Botswana is called a Botswanese, if not a Botswanese. But I think I read that it's Botswanese that it really should be. I found it strange at the time. But it looks like it's not Botswana, and it's either Botswanese or Botswanese. Something of that kind, just giving it a mention, not trying to play teacher or anything like that. Alright. What happened there, Jackman? That's another of those days I'll have to say, let's close it down. Don't get me vexed, I'm going to make some people ecstatic, Alright. Yeah, okay. Miguel Favre has just sent something missing. He says the 724 number continues to be displayed on the screen. We should have that corrected by now. Right? Because maybe people are trying to call that number and they're not getting through. While I'm, boasting my Venco to say it's 487-9849. We have to remove the 724.
Good afternoon, Sheldon.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, on Wednesday night, I could not believe hearing the former health minister, which is Mary Isaac, talking about health when she was dead. A lady I knew had very little control over the health situation in St. Lucia. When I asked her a question, she would send it to Guy Joseph,
Yeah, it was like she was health minister without being health minister.
These politicians have a soul when they're talking to the media or when they're talking to St. Lucians. Everybody knows the problem that we had when Mayak was there. When you ask the lady questions, she asked Guy Joseph and Aaron Schaffner, was the one in charge of health. Mayak was hiding and she could not. And by the way, how many of those people that could counteract Schaffner when Schaffner give an order, whatever order he is, who can counteract him? When you try to contract Schaffner, you out. You out because you don't like people to contract him. Now I always say that Schaffner is not a leader. He is a ruler. Every time I call, I keep on saying that he's a ruler. He's not a leader. He has the concept and the attitude of a leader, of a ruler. He's not a leader. He's a ruler.
But you heard the man said he expected the people in the party he leads to submit to him, eh?
Yes, I've been following. I didn't come today. I was listening yesterday, and I know Schaffner now. Based on a personal experience I had with Mr. Michael Schaffner, all what Mr. Schaffner said about his son is true, because Mr. Michael Schaffner, I will not call him cheap, but he's not a guy who spends. Schaffner would collect $50 from a lady that is in the little entrance of the mall. He collects $50 from the lady personally, for renting a little thing on the ground there, That is how cheap the guy is, So what he dumped his son, to spend money on me, or to spend his money on the labor, on the people of St. Lucia. He and Compton dumped Shasta there, So he was embarrassed with him because he wanted to spend his money because, as I said, Mr. Schaffner Sr. don't like to spend. I had personal experience with him, so I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll again ask the question, if you know your son is so wasteful, he is so extravagant, he is so profligate, you know all of that about him with respect to your personal resources, why would you be pushing for him to become Prime Minister of the country and Minister for Finance? So your wealth is important to protect and to shield from him, but you can set him loose on the country's money, on the people's money. What for? And I'm saying those revelations by Richard Frederick with documentary evidence makes us understand better why you'd want to do that. It makes us understand. Whatever you owe on your buildings or whatever, you're probably now able to pay your loan and your expenses and so on, because you get in government rent and so on. Because your son is in the chair of Prime Minister where he can push that business your way. We have a call on the line. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, good afternoon. You're on there.
And how are you doing?
Doing okay.
Yeah, Shelton, I need to add my voice to some of the revelations I've heard, especially coming from Mr. Minister Richard Frederick, which is just appalling. Although I'm not surprised, it's unfortunate, but although I'm not surprised to have heard that, because when this gentleman was going up for public office, I used to tell all those that used to support him, what do you all expect from a man like this? I kept asking them that, what is it that you all expect from Mr. Shasti? And it's just surprising to see the type of sleaziness, the word that you've been using this afternoon, right? And shoddiness and corruptness that has been going on under the watch of this gentleman as Prime Minister. It's crazy and shameful to see that you've been elected as Prime Minister, you've been paid a salary every month from the public purse, and for you to be engaged in such, craftiness and sleaziness and corrupt practices, and you're the first person, almost day in, day out, to be calling out corruption, to be calling out people for corruption, for sleaziness and what have you. I have to ask the question. I heard of the Prime Minister's announcement on appointing a special prosecutor to look into stuff like that.
Yeah, special prosecutor, yes.
Because this is one of the stuff that we campaigned on, and to date we have heard little on that. Shelton, stuff like that cannot continue or cannot happen with no form of penalties being paid by those persons who practice those things. It cannot be happening, and people are not made to account, and people are not made to pay back, and put back into the public purse money that was siphoned corruptly and unethically. And this is a gentleman, according to Dr. Haley, that seemed to be able to cry at will. You have a country where some people are unable to even find a meal for the kids tomorrow, a meal for the kids to sleep before they go to bed, and you don't seem to have enough yet at your disposal, and seek to siphon so much money on a monthly basis, whereas those monies could be going to help a young Lovin Spencer, a young Julian Alfred, another young Darren Summey, another scientist, another doctor, another Nobel laureate, right? And he seems to be so unshamefully day in, day out calling on the government as if that is Michael Gabriel from heaven that just arrived on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We have to have people like that account brought to the law and answer for those. Shelton, if a public servant were to do the same thing that you heard was done by former Prime Minister, what would have happened to him?
That public servant would probably be history by now.
What would have happened to him? So do we have a law for some in St. Lucia and another law for others?
Yeah, like they say.
And that is why I like certain big countries, smaller countries as well, who have said who have a zero tolerance to corruption. And no matter who you are, whether you are president, ex-president, prime minister, CIA director, FBI director, if you have found to be unethical, to be found wanting, to be found corrupt, you pay the price, and quite rightly so. If we do not send a message to those people, what are we sending? What are we saying to the rest of the populace?
Yes.
To those people who believe they can do what they want, as they want, break the law as they want, whether it's the road laws, the traffic laws, and other laws, that they will go scot-free?
Yes.
And this is a man that wants to go up to lead us again, Shelton Daniel. This is a man that wants to run for public office again, to be at the helm.
Yeah, because sometimes public office is the only shield or the best shield they know. That when you have the office of Prime Minister, it's very unlikely that you will be prosecuted and tried and arrested at that time and so on. So you can control outcomes, because Attorney General essentially, especially if you appoint an Attorney General, who is in the cabinet and so on, this is somebody that you can control. So, I mean, the Soufre thing, the whole Soufre, how you call that, the Soufre Foundation monies and so on.
Yes.
Once the government changed, it was dead in the water,
Yes.
Yeah.
But these things ought not to be shown, because if other jurisdictions, right, If other jurisdiction can find anybody wanting, can investigate anybody and bring them to law and have them pay, whether by fine, whether by jail or both, you mean we cannot do it here? Are they brighter than us?
Of course we can. But, you know, even in other countries, you see what's happening in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas and the Palestinians. You know what's happening there? Israel has a prime minister who is, if not convicted, is a man facing serious criminal charges. I think he has been convicted on some of them. So conducting this war and always escalating it and keeping it is a way to keep him in a position like, look, do we want to put a man who's standing up for us against the terrorists and so on? Do we want to have him on trial and in the court? And Netanyahu is using that whole situation basically to either put off or to keep him away from having to face the music, you know?
Yes.
And he doesn't mind how many people he'll kill to do it and so on. And likewise, I'm telling you, in the same thing, Trump is probably desperate to become president again, so that all the convictions and charges and things against him, he can have them scrubbed, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but these things ought not to be. And if we are a people who claim to be a Christian society, we claim to have ethics and moral and high standing and best practices and the like, we ought to send a strong message, and that is why I'm calling on the powers that be, especially this Philip JB administration, to have a zero tolerance, and I believe he has said it, a zero tolerance for corruption, all right, for discrimination and those type of things, and to ensure that our mouths, right, our actions meet our mouths. Shelton, I wanted to ask you, I thought I was the only one who heard what Minister Richard Frederick put out concerning the whole rental thing. We ought to ask and demand of Mr. Shastri to come out and say something, give explanations as to the $2,000 rent, as to the rental of your company, the rental issue that Mr. Frederick put out, and until and unless we can hear from you on those matters, on the money that was given for vaccines, and a plethora of issues that we can fix. Until and unless you can come and speak to those issues, we have nothing to hear from you. We need nothing to hear from you. We will not take you on. And unless and until then you come and address those issues, I believe personally that those issues are supposed to be kept alive, mentioned day in, day out, just like he is just pilfering garbage all over the air, day in, day out, targeting people day in, day out, messing up people's name day in, day out. I believe those issues are supposed to be said and kept at the forefront day in, day out. And unless and until, and if he cannot and will not address those issues, like somebody has said on your show, we need to consider him declared as persona non grata. Shelton,
all right.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. And if we have no one on the phone presently, let's take the overdue commercial break, and we'll be right back on the final lap of the real issues today and for the week.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The country needed to be rescued from the abyss into which it was plunging. The majority of you accepted my offer to lead that rescue mission. The full rescue team also includes you, the people.
Over the past 3 years, the St. Lucian economy has been growing. The growth is being experienced across many sectors, with business confidence up and unemployment down.
This government always defends the interests of the people of St. Lucia.
The 2 years after COVID, and then I get the $1,500. It helped me a lot, and it pushed me in front to open a little business. Now I can put food on my table right now.
When I heard about the MSME, I was like, boom, opportunity. I could make something actually happen, you know.
And young people must not suffer the frustration that they suffer when they go to other organizations.
Entrepreneurship is something that is needed in our country. We need people to take the leap and be entrepreneurs to help the economy grow.
He honored his promise, and I respect him, and I give him thanks. Philip J. Pierre, I thank you with all my heart and soul.
As Prime Minister, I promise to be Prime Minister, not for some of the people, but for all the people.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Sleaze, a noun that has British and American variants or connotations. The British one is immoral, sordid, and corrupt behavior or material, especially in business or politics. And an example of the use of it, they have a sentence, an online dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, I think. Political campaigns that are long on sleaze and short on substance. In the North American English, it's an informal expression, but again it means a sordid, corrupt, or immoral person. The plural noun, sleazes. Having failed as a leading man, he triumphs as a sleaze. You know? Everything about sleaze is about corruption, immorality, especially in business or politics. You know? To behave in an immoral, corrupt, or sordid way is called to be sleazing. You're the last person who has to sleaze around bars. You know? And so while they're talking a lot about scandal, about shocking, about, you know, these kind of words have been thrown around all the time on the most tenuous of allegations. You just say something about somebody and you say, oh, information is that. We've been made to understand and we've been told. And it's an allegation the person is supposed to respond to, or that they're supposed to be investigated over. But the ones that are documented, that are known, the examples, you know, of corruption, lack of integrity in public life, deliberate sleaze, we're not hearing about it. We're supposed to hear something about it. Let's talk about that as well. 487-9849. We're sorry that the old number 724-7325 is still appearing on the screen. I've asked about it. I'm told it's because the graphic has to be rebuilt, but efforts are being made to restore 724. Folks, I'm sorry about that. If you've been trying to call 724 and not getting through, that is the reason. Ignore it. The number that you should call is 487-9849. I have my own thoughts that this should not be, but it is what it is. So let's make the most and the best of it. And the landline number 4533911. All right, let's see what we have there. We're getting some photos. All right, I've been asked to Denry North Annual General Meeting, and that's of the St. Lucia Labour Party. The journey of progress continues. That's the theme. And that is the 18th of August, 2024, at 3 p.m. And that would be at the Grand Riviere Secondary School. I have been invited to be the guest speaker. So, this coming Sunday, well, not this coming Sunday, the next one, right, Jokwan? I will be the guest speaker at the annual general meeting of the Denry North constituency group of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And the theme is The Journey of Progress Continues. And that will be 3 p.m. on Sunday, 18th August 2024. That's 1 week before the Walk of Progress at the Grand Riviere Secondary School. the MP for Denry North, Honorable Sean Edward, the guest speaker, Shelton Daniel. Thank you very much, Denry North, for inviting me, for the confidence that you repose in me, and for the honor of inviting me to be your guest speaker on the 18th. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm answering you. Good afternoon.
This is Shelton, right?
Yes, it is.
The reason why that we are so successful in this time around is because we have a prime minister that's putting us first. So therefore, we must make the effort, regardless to what part of the world we are going to put St. Lucia first. So Julian Alfred had all the reasons to run like a champion to put St. Lucia first. So bravo to St. Lucia, bravo to our Prime Minister who knows how to put people first. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks also.
Good afternoon. Yes, sir.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon. Okay, all right. I was speaking about annual general meetings of constituency groups. The Vieux North constituency group of the SLP will be having theirs not on a Sunday but on Saturday. We're talking about tomorrow, on Saturday, 10th of August 2024 at 5:30 p.m. at the Pero Combined School. All right? So, the special guest speaker will be none other than Prime Minister Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre. And guess what the theme is? Putting you first. Now, Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre is not just the political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party, he's also the country's Prime Minister. And that annual general meeting to be held tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. at the Pero Combined School, will be under the patronage of Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, who is the elected MP for Vieux North, and is also the chairman of the St. Lucia Labour Party. So tomorrow, the 10th, 5:30 p.m. at the Pero Combined School, there will be the annual general meeting of the Vieux North constituency group of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party. The theme is Putting You First. The special guest speaker, Prime Minister and Party Leader Honorable Philip J. Pierre. And the patron of that AGM is the MP and the party chairman, Honorable Moses Musa Jean-Baptiste, who is also the minister responsible for health, wellness, and elderly affairs. Good. There's a voice note that someone sent me, but I'm sorry, I can't read it. I can't play it on air unless I have some time to review it. And the person says in a written message, yes, dangerous so, Michael Shastey. He better let Alan spend his money because he will not get hold of St. Lucia's money in a hurry. Maybe that's what he misses, you know. Maybe that's what the gentleman misses. Having his hands in control of the public purse, you know, to be able to spend the country's money how he wants. And what a crazy and wasteful way that he has spent it, that maybe he really misses it. I think we have another call coming in. Let's take the call with the reminder to call 487-9849 if you're WhatsApp calling, not the 724 number, which I have learned to my surprise is still on the screen. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
How are you doing?
Well, man. You know. Well, Gato. Tewaru. Ça c'était un semaine, oui. Ça c'était un semaine.
Was it was.
Nous passons un semaine comme ça encore là.
Really an awesome week.
That was awesome, man. That was an amazing week, man. come on. Hello, somebody. And can you believe this week was all about Monkey Town and Cicerone? You know, it all started there. We must never judge people by where they come from. We must judge people by their abilities, what they are willing to put in, what they are willing to invest in themselves to forward themselves. And most of the time, Shelton, all that one body needs is another body to have faith in them and to push them forward. That is why in this country, we have to learn the art of putting each other on the same level, helping each other up, forwarding each other, helping each other fulfill a dream. You know, it may not be you, but it is going to be them. And then they may even speak about your aid in their success if they have a heart. You know what I'm talking about? Julian Alfred alone, Gassa. She alone, yes, she run the race. But Gassa, I can't even run in my brain, let alone physically. And I feeling the vibes, Gassa. I mean, I cannot express effectively and efficiently in words the pride I feel because I'm overly a damn proud Lucian today. And this pride is going to last. And here at Shelton, if we invest in the young people who are sports enthusiasts, they want to become something, now is the time. We need to thank our coaches, continue to encourage them, empower them, so they can further empower our young people to get them away from the guns and the crime and the ghetto and the alleys and every other hot spot. If Julian Alfred is what it's going to take to do that for us, then Shelton, I am beyond elated because, hello, Chasney couldn't do it for us and he does not want to do it for us. So now I encourage him. The next country that he's going to rule, you have to start building it first. You have to either go and get an extension of Rat Island, probably build somewhere behind Maria Island, but you have to start with one of the 23 countries that he had promised us. Build it for himself, rule it, or just go on Rat Island. That's where he belongs. But you see St. Lucian politics, especially the way St. Lucia trending there, we can do without him. Persona non grata. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for that. US just won the women's 4x100 and Canada the men's. The US did not place in the latter. It was Canada, UK, and South Africa. I'm elated. Why? What do you have against the US? I feel like telling your name, so your visa, your visa. Visa is being used as a weapon against everybody now, right? So, you come in and say you're elated that US did not place. Gaston, I feel like reporting you to who you know, so that your visa can get, cancelled and so on and this kind of thing. Wow, you type in something there telling me, go ahead, you're daring me to do it? Man, I'm putting Uncle Sam on you. And that's what people are doing, making us believe they have a special connection and a special relationship to Uncle Sam, that they can get our visa-free access. That's the only thing I talk about, your visa-free access. Your visa-free access. The only development model that they know is the kiss backside to Europe and America kind of model. I'm not saying we should be shaking our fist at them, but that's all you can know. It's always about America will take a dim view of what you're doing. And America will revoke. Up to now, you've been saying that for a long time. It has not yet been revoked and so on, but trying to do damage to see to it that it's done. I tell you. Anyway, another person sends a message saying, Allen may want to be PM again, but even more egregious is the educated people, some with PhDs, who support him in that quest. Truly mind-boggling. The same thing can be said in the United States. You wonder about the people. They go out, they say the worst things about Trump, and he wins the nomination, and they just close ranks behind him. These people, it's all a matter of self-interest. Nikki Haley, Nikki Haley has quickly endorsed Trump. She's on board with him again. All the things she said. What's the name of that other guy? Ted Cruz? That's his name. They all come and they say things about Trump, and then they just fall in line tamely and meekly behind him, because they just want to make sure that they put themselves on the right side of Trump history. That when he comes in, he grants them this favor, he appoints them, Secretary of Commerce, and this one, Ambassador to Japan, and this one. That's what they're looking for. Everybody looking to feather. Well, not everybody, but those types of people. It's about feathering their own nest. Some of the people who pretending now that they hands off, they keeping their distance from Shasti. Let him win an election again, or seem like he's going to win. You see how quickly they'll be on board. They're positioning themselves for when, the spoils of victory are being doled out, that they will be favorably considered. This is what they want at the end. Many people, they don't care about country and about sustainability and development and churning out Julian Alfreds. They just want their own nest feathered. That's what they're after. Anyway, we've reached almost the end of the program. I said I was going to go on the Facebook Live, but I see 2 o'clock has already. I wonder if Alan will claim this Canadian victory. I mean, he was there from the start. Nice one. Product of Canada, so every medal Canada wins is probably going to be jumping up and down, etc., etc., etc. Maybe you should go to Canada and tell them, that he's one of them, and he's come to celebrate their victory. He considers himself to be, identify with them and that kind of thing. Maybe he's going to do that. He travels so much, that you never know when he's here, when he's not there. Anyway, folks, that'll be the real issues for today and for the week. Thank you so very much for being here. This message tells me that a lot of you are watching the Olympics. I would too if I didn't have to do the program. Be honest with you, it's been an exciting Olympics, made more so, by the fact that we, for the first time in our history, have collected not one, Olympic medals at the very top, at the very acme of achievement, a gold and a silver, and it has come in the one person, Julian Alfred. Look forward to her being honored, and looking forward to her inspiring many more St. Lucians to excel and achieve at the highest and the international level. Enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. Bye for now.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy, Soufre, Knightsmed, Miku.